from the beginning, and we will continue to be there for them even after they achieve victory.
The honourable member from Carlton Trail Eagle Creek.
After 8 years of this NDP Liberal government, we see historic levels of corruption. Conservatives have uncovered a tangled web of chaos, collusion and cover-ups in the ArriveScam scandal. Just the latest example of Liberal insiders getting rich. GC Strategies opened its doors when this Prime Minister took office. This place will make history when it summons GC Strategies to the bar to answer our questions. Why did the Prime Minister make these scamsters multi-millionaires?
Yeah.
The Honourable Minister for Public Safety.
Again, Mr. Speaker, because our colleague repeats something doesn't make it factual. She knows very well, Mr. Speaker, that the Auditor General has looked into these matters. We've welcomed parliamentary committee review. People have been available, including senior government officials, to go before parliamentary committee.
I'm going to ask all members, please, to restrain themselves. There were a couple of very large or loud interventions while the minister was speaking. It's hard for me to hear the answer. Sometimes difficult for me to hear the question. I ask all members, and I know I could identify the members, but they're honourable members. I ask them, please, to hold their comments back. The honourable minister has 20 seconds left on the clock.
So, Mr. Speaker, as I was saying, the Canadian Border Services Agency is conducting internal reviews on this matter. The RCMP are also looking into these questions. We have said that anybody who has misused or abused taxpayers' funds will be held accountable, and we look forward to these processes coming to their conclusion.
The honourable member from Brantford Brant.
Mr. Speaker, this Prime Minister is not worth the cost or corruption. In the past year, this government spent over $21 billion on outside consultants. Rather than helping struggling Canadians, he's focused on making Liberal insiders richer. It's no shock that the Liberal favoured GC Strategies, who pocketed $20 million for doing nothing on ArriveScam, was founded the same year that he took office. Shame. Will this Prime Minister commit to cutting all waste and corruption in the upcoming budget, or will he continue to get more Liberal insiders rich?
Hear, hear. The Honourable Minister for Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, as my colleague knows, the Minister of Public Services and Procurement, the President of the Treasury Board, myself as Minister responsible for the Border Services Agency, have already taken steps to reduce reliance on outside consultants. Mr. Speaker, we've reviewed and changed the process for approving these kind of contracts. We'll continue to look at everything necessary to ensure that taxpayers' money is well spent, and those people that are responsible for these decisions know that they'll be held accountable in the case of misuse or abuse.
The honourable member from Brantford Brant.
I hope the government holds itself accountable. The ArriveScam merely scratches the surface of the rot and corruption in this NDP Liberal government. Their procurement system is seriously flawed and broken. For example, they paid KPMG, a consulting company, almost 700,000 taxpayer dollars to learn how to cut back on consultants. Oh. You can't make up this lunacy. They've learned nothing. The question is simple. In the budget next week, will we see a cut to all the corruption?
The Honourable Minister for Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As our colleague, the Minister of Public Safety, has said repeatedly, repeating falsehoods doesn't make those falsehoods true. What they should know, however, is that the Auditor General did table an important report just a few weeks ago, which found that rules were not followed by a few public servants. Fortunately, many of these rules have been updated, and regulations and expectations around the use of those rules have been clearly communicated to all relevant public servants.